In this session, we're going to be looking at solving real-life problems. We need to be able to decide whether a problem in words involves multiplication or division, and also be able to carry out the multiplication or division in order to get our answer. To start off with, we're going to have a few warm-up questions. So the first one is 20 multiplied by 5. We get 100. The next question, we have got 7 multiplied by 400. Okay, and that will give us the answer 2,800. 30 multiplied by 500. So if we do the 3 times 5, and then I multiply by 10, and then multiply by the 100. So multiplying by 10 is for the 30, and then multiplying by 100 is for the 500. Then if I work out each part, I get 15 multiplied by 10, and then times by 100, which gives me that. And my final answer is going to be 15,000. For the next set of questions, we've got 34 multiplied by 5. These ones aren't so easy, and you can see that it gets a little bit harder, so we're going to use another method. Some people call it the grid method. Okay, so we're multiplying, and I'm going to break up my 34 into tens and units. So I've got 3 tens and 4 units, and then I'm just multiplying that by 5. So I'm going to do 30 multiplied by 5, that gives me 150, and then 5 times 4 is 20. Now I just need to add those numbers together. So 150 plus 20, and that gives me 170. So the answer for this one is going to be 170. So for the next question, we've got 152 multiplied by 13. You're going to do the same method. So you're going to split it up in 100, tens and units for both numbers. Okay, and the answer is 1,976. For the next one, you're going to set it out the same. When you're ready, press play. You get 1,430. Okay, we're going to have a look at some division questions. So the first one is 27 divided by 5. So press pause and then I'll go through the answer with you. So for this question, we're going to need to do long division. So I've got 27 divided by 5. So I need to think how many 5s will go into 20, okay, or into 2. So how many 5s go into 2? We can't do, so we carry over the 2. So now it's how many 5s go into 27. I know that 5 5s go into 25, and I'm going to add a decimal point and put a 0 at the end, because 27.0 is the same as 27. Okay, now I can put my remainder onto this 0. So we managed to get 25 from the 5 times 5, and then I need 2 more to get to the 27. Okay, so now we put in our decimal point with the 5 as well. How many 5s go into 20? It's going to be 4. Okay, so the answer is 5.4. Okay, for the next one, we've got 33 divided by 4. So we need to think how many 4s go into 3? We can't do. How many 4s go into 33? We're going to have 8 4s. So 8 lots of 4s gives us 32. And then we've got 1 left over to get us to 33. So I put my decimal point and my 0. And then I need to say how many 4s go into 10. Okay, I put my decimal point on the top as well. And that's going to be 2 times 4 gives me 8. Another 0, I've got 2 left over. How many 4s go into 20 is going to be 5. So that's 8.25. And use the same method for the last one. And your answer should be 6.666. Okay, with division, if we're given large numbers, for example, 430 divided by 25, we can use another method which is called the chunking method. So if we have 430 divided by 25, so I'm going to set it out the same, 430 divided by 25. Okay, I need to think, what can I multiply 25 by to get me as close as possible to the 430? If you're not very good at your times tables, you can just go into 4. So 4 times 25 gives me 100. So I'm going to write on the side 25 times 4 gives me 100. Okay, I'm going to now minus the 100 that I found from my 430. So 430 divided by, sorry, minus 100 is going to be 330. I'm going to keep doing the same method. So how much more can I get into the 330? If I do it by 4, I know that's 100. If I multiply it by 8, that's going to be 200. If I multiply it by 12, that's going to give me 300. So 25 times 12 gives me the 300. Okay, so now I minus it again, and I'm left with 30. So the next step that I need to do is think how many 25s go into 30. And we know that 25 times by 1 gives me 25. Again, we minus that from each other and we're left with 5. Okay, so far I've got 12 plus 4, that's 16 lots of 25, plus another lot of 25, which is 17. How many 25s go into 5? We can't do that. We're going to go into decimals. So I'm just going to do another little division. So 5 divided by 25. We're going to have to use a long division. Okay, how many 25s go into 5? We can't do. So I put a 0 at the end. Now it's how many 25s go into 50. Because I got nothing for the first part, I'll put a 0 there and my decimal point. How many 25s go into 50 is going to be 2. So in total, we have got 4 lots of 25, 12 lots of 25, and 1. So that's going to give me the 17. And then I need to add this on as well. Okay, so that's 17 plus 0.2, which is 17.2. So the answer to 430 divided by 25 is 17.2, and you can check that on your calculator as well. Okay, can you use the same method for this next question, 300 divided by 21, and then I'll go through the method of how to work it out. You can use the chunking method. Okay, when we are dividing using the chunking method, you need to remember that some answers will have remainders as the numbers will not divide exactly. And these will need to be interpreted in real life problems. So we're going to have a look at an example now. So there are 30 people waiting to get onto a coach. They need to sit in groups of 4. How many groups will there be? Okay, so just take a moment to answer that question. So we're going to have 30 divided by 4. Okay, we're splitting up the group of 30 into groups of 4. Okay, so I know that 4 times 7 will give me 28. And I'll have 2 left over. Okay, 4 into 20 is going to be 5, so that's 7.5 groups. We cannot have half a group, so we need to round the number up. Okay, so there's going to be 7 groups of 4 plus another group which doesn't have 4 in it, but we still need that 8th group. So how many groups will there be? It's going to be 8.